Oh look, Cadentine seeds are going up in value. I wonder if I can buy them for double the price. Nope. One Cadentine seed cost me 22,000 GP. Herbs can no longer be obtained from bosses and have been replaced with seeds, and yet seeds seem like they're going to the moon. In this video, we're going to be talking about the changes in the RuneScape market, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. For RuneScape guides, content, and news, be sure to subscribe. If you take a look at the top 100 price rises in the past 7 days, seeds will be all over the top of that page. Why? Well, because seeds are being consumed like never before. Before the Garden of Carid update, you could only use 1 herb seed per patch, but now you can use up to 10 given that you have the required unlock. So players can consume up to 10 times as many herb seeds per herb run, and with the speedy growth upgrade, the time to grow these herbs before doing another herb run has been decreased by 25%. There's also a significant portion of players not actually doing herb runs, but instead growing herbs using instant growth potions for the favor to get back their trim comp or to get those upgrades or specific upgrades, which are also a huge contributor to the price increase of seeds. Now, because people are using instant growth potions to get a bunch of these favor unlocks quickly, player and farm animals with the unchecked versions you can trade are also increasing in price because people use them to get beans. Now, while this isn't a representation of the entire player base, I do think you'll find the results from my community poll interesting. The majority of players that voted on my poll don't do herb runs despite the changes, and over half the people that do are only in it to get the new rewards, and will probably never ever do a herb run ever again after they've unlocked them. Well, let's go back to seed prices. How expensive are these seeds really? Well, as of 30 November 2022, these are the current seed prices. And as you can see, some of them are just ridiculous. Some of these herb seeds are getting as expensive as tree seeds, which are usually used for experience alongside player and farm. My personal prediction was that seed prices would be going down while herb prices would be going up, but in reality it's the other way around, with seeds going up big time. Sure, certain herbs are going up in price, but there's also an ongoing double experience event, so that also has some impact there. So with seeds rapidly becoming more expensive, are they properly replacing PVM herb drops yet? Well, the best boss to try that at is of course Helwyr. Why is that exactly? Well, because noted lantadiums and dwarf weeds made up for about 65% of Helwyr's GP per kill, or 34% when including rare drops, such as the Cyber Wand and Orb. So what's the loot like post-update? What you are looking at on screen now is 1 hour of AFK Helwyr with a very strong magic setup, and all we have to show for it is about 127k worth of seeds, and that's the accurate price as well. Now, there's no saying dwarf weed and lantadime seeds won't become even more expensive in the coming weeks, but this seems like a major nerf to Helwyr's common GP per hour. Previously, you were able to get stacks of 80 to 100 grimy lantadimes or 14 to 25 grimy dwarf weeds. While maybe not as harshly affected, the slay creatures they mentioned they were going to adjust or nerf the herb drop rates of are definitely affected. This is my loot after 25 minutes of non-stop slamming Abyssal Lords and Abyssal Beasts in the wilderness using a near best in slot setup. For those wondering, this is over 120 pure monster kills because I was on a Demon's Cluster task, where both Abyssal Lords and Abyssal Beasts only count for 1 kill count when killed. So 120 high-level Slayer creatures, and while the GP power is still pretty good without rare drops, you can definitely see that the herbs have been reduced. Now, I also tried to kill a bunch of Slayer creatures to see if their seed drops were worth doing them for, such as dinosaurs and Vol Blooms, which seem to drop Arbok seeds, which are currently selling for 120k each, which is a lot of money per seed, and feral dinosaurs, according to the wiki, drop these commonly, but in a 20-minute Slayer task, I only received 7 of them, which doesn't really amount to that much money, but is nice nonetheless. While I'm not entirely sure how many herbs Firewatches dropped before in an hour of doing them, I can say that they still drop a decent source of herbs and seeds in addition to you gaining that fire making and prayer experience from the Sun Spear. In this particular clip, I'd like you to ignore the other loot in my inventory as I kept dropping loot that wasn't a herb or a seed except for runes and other noted stuff. And it also doesn't include my Spring Cleaner's Alk GP. I just wanted to make sure that I was getting an accurate representation of an hour of Firewatches in terms of herbs and herb seeds. Dark beasts are a decent source of seeds as well, and if you want Fellstalk seeds specifically, these might be your go-to slayer task, as you can gain over 130 of them per hour, and they are selling for 15,000 GP each. Turoffs are another good way of obtaining seeds, and I was able to get 160 herb seeds while still gaining 170,000 farming experience in a single hour from crushing the mushroom spores and other seeds using my seedicide. They still don't necessarily make Turoffs good money though, but you are able to get a good volume of seeds here. Now I'm sure that the price of both herbs and seeds will stabilize within about 3 months from now, and it's going to be really interesting to see where the market ends up for both of them. It's likely that I will do a detailed visit to all important slayer creatures and bosses in the future after those prices have stabilized, but for now it seems that a boss such as Helwyr got nerfed pretty hard, certain slayer creatures provide less GP per hour in commons, while others are seeing their GP per hour increase as they drop a ton of those seeds that are becoming ever more valuable. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little market update video, and with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.